Mic check. Mic check. Hey, what up, everybody? Thanks for tuning in to the channel. This Game Dog Games back with another one. Today we're gonna be doing the part two showcase of all my old builds. Basically, this is just a series of me going over some builds that I had going on maybe like 3 or 4 years ago. A lot of them are pretty much complete, but now that I completed part one's house, now I basically will go through these and see, little tidbits and stuff that we can actually do to the newer properties. All right. So tonight I had a toss up. So since I because I didn't know what I wanted to show. But since I already showed a mansion, I figured we'll just start off the series of showcases with all of the mansions that I built. And then we'll slowly move on to smaller type of houses. And then we'll move on to like business buildings and stuff I made. So as y'all see, this is the first house. This is the main house. We went over this one in part one. If you didn't check it out, go ahead and check that video out. So we're going to go to World Manager, and I'm going to go to my gallery. Okay, so some of these houses I don't have laid, which means I will have to actually go and place them on a plot. Let's see. So let's go to the gallery. Hold on, let's see. I made a lot of buildings, okay? Some of mine are mixed in with some of these buildings, but I didn't do all of these buildings. Okay, just some of them. Some of these Sims I did. Some of these are mine. Some aren't. Okay. Well, all of these are mine. Okay, so some of them are mixed in. I guess they all just in alphabetical order. Uh, but today I want to go over Brindleton Manor. Okay, so I made one called Brindleton Manor. Okay. And at the current moment, it's at 777,596 in value. So I put the description, the largest property in Brindleton Bay and with its very own private beach. Brindleton Manor is the jewel of the area. Come visit this amazing property. Now, as you see, it says created 2/3/26, right? That's just my recent resave to the gallery. Okay, but if I go back, when you look at this one, oh no, that's another recent resave. Okay, let me see. Let me see if we got any older saves because I basically started all of these buildings in 2022. But all these are recent resaves. Hold on, let me see. Let me go back in my catalog before we start because I gotta basically lay some of these plots in order to go over them. Okay, so this one says 2/2/22. So that's when I pretty much the last time I touched this one. Now, as you can see, it's pretty much done. It just needs to be updated, landscape and stuff like that. Okay, so let's figure out a plot we can. No matter of fact, I think I laid it in Brindleton Bay. Let's check it out. Because I'm going to have to get some empty plots. Yeah, I did. Okay. And I moved somebody in there. Okay, Bush. Brian Bush. I don't know who that random sim is though. That's a random sim. Okay, let's go to build mode. I'm gonna try not to make this video longer than the other one. But these can kind of take up some time, so just be patient with me. All right, so this is one that I did in 2022. Pretty much all of them. I just have to update them. Now, as y'all can see, I was a rookie compared to my building skills now. Okay, so what I will do now is pull up all of these lights and redo the lighting. Okay, for one, I will redo the lighting. Then I will redo this front. Okay, I will cut this in half a little bit, even though you want a big yard for a manor. But as you see, I've done some thorough buildings. This one was put together a little bit better than my original house. As I told y'all, I'm not a professional builder. So a lot of my rooms be square and rectangle. A lot of my properties just be square rooms. But the one thing I like about this one versus the other one is it had a little bit more room to make driveways. This one, they should let us build past all the way to the gate. I don't like that we have this driveway, but you can't build on it or use it. As y'all see, I placed some cars. So on this floor, I did the garage. So let's go put the roof on everything so y'all can see. So as you see, these are my beginner builds, okay? So I placed all grass. That doesn't even look right. It looks too neat. You'll need a fence on that. And I will have to come through and redo everything, okay? So it's not that bad, but it can definitely be improvements. Ever since I went through my first one and finished everything. So this is another one that I'm going to eventually finish. I'm going to alter stuff, and then I'm going to do a part 2 on each building that I'm showing. So I'm going to show it in the before, and then later on in another video when I go back and get to it, I'll come back and show y'all the after. But this pretty much what it looked like in the front. I pretty much wanted to make it even. So at least it still has an even shape. It looks like an actual mansion shape when you look on top of it. You know, I made it so that it wouldn't look all crazy like the first property. I wanted to make it look kind of modernized. But like I said, I'm not really good at building and doing architecture. So like all of these roof things will have to get improved. Or I mean, maybe the outside is not that bad. It has a lot of windows, and I made sure all the windows was even. See, a lot of my newer properties I learned from the first one. Okay, as you see, I got a little maze garden over here with a separate walkway. Okay, but I did that. Now this will mess you up because it's no way for your Sims to get in there. Okay, so that would just be a display piece. This is just a lot of unused stuff that you can actually do more with. Okay, so what I may do is uproot this property and just move it a little bit farther down. I might cut off half of the yard. Okay, and then you can do more with the back. But as you see, I made it so the house was pretty even. So I took my time on my second mansion. As far as the layout, you can see everything is even. Okay, on the outside, this is the back area, and then this is the dog area. Okay, because this is Brindleton Bay, and I'm a dog man in real life, so I always make dog areas. And this one is actually better because they actually use this path, so they only have two ways in. But what I would do is, instead of, see where I made this mistake, I will remove this. See, I left this door so that people can access the dog yard from both sides, right? But in the improvement, I will change this gate. Everything will be improved. I will pull all of these forward. I will basically run the back fence along this dog line right here with this dog area fence. I will improve all the lighting. I will remove this gate so that they will only have one true way to access the dogs. Okay, because it's more about keeping the dogs in one area on the Sims. You don't want them running all around everywhere because, like I said on the last video, they'll poop everywhere. Okay, so as you see, I got a second entrance on the side, and then that leads you down into the basketball court. Okay, so let's start lowering. So as you see, when we lower a floor, you just take off the top layer of the chimney, and on the second one, we up into the top floor. Okay, so this is the front of the house at the top. Okay, so how I did this one is I made each room a stairwell. So basically, this is the main stairwell up the middle, and as you see, these two sides are even, and those are the stairwells on how they get upstairs. Okay, now the only way that I will actually redo this is what I will do is alter the stairs a little bit so that one Sim doesn't have to walk through another Sim's room to get to theirs. That's a design flaw that I found out, you know, going back over this mansion. But as you see, everything is styled better in the first version of the first mansion. It's more neat, okay, and it's less clutter, okay, but it's still fully functional What I tell people is when I do Sims 4 builds, I actually do want the houses to be functional. I've run across a lot of builds that were not really too functional, and the Sims act stupid when they're in there. Now, as you see, all these were around the same house, same time, because I used all the vents in the houses, like 2 or 3 per room. But as you see, this is I think this was the master bedroom. Let me check. No, I made this one the master. Okay. Yeah, this one was the master. So this is the master, the black and gold one. Everything is color coordinated. What I'm going to do, because this property doesn't need a lot either, it needs more exterior renovation. The interior is pretty good on this property, because I made sure everything was the same. All the doors, as you see, all the doors are pretty much the same in each room. You know, so it's not hard to build on The Sims 4. This house took me a day and a half to put up. Not even that long, like a day and a half. And the thing is, your skills on building is a forever learning curve. Like I said, I'm not a total ultimate builder, but for these to be my first builds, I think I did pretty good. Okay. But your building skills are going to slowly improve every time. So remember, I said I was missing closets, right? That's something I noticed in the first house. So I made sure all of these rooms had closets, as you see. So you got one doorway. Now, the one thing is they're not functional, okay? So this house would need a whole revamp in order for these to, like, I think they can walk in because they have a slot, but that's the farthest they can go is just walk in. It's nothing they can really do in the closet. They're just more for, display, so that's the top down view. But these 2 middle rooms basically have their own bathrooms, and then the 2 outer rooms have their own bathrooms, and the 2, like, all of the rooms are pretty even, basically what I did. So it's not really a master. All of them are just, well, this is the master, but all of the rooms are pretty much even. All of the rooms have their own office, their own bathroom, and dual stairwells. Okay, so you see how I did this one? So that's okay. Let me take that back. I apologize. This is how I made it to where every room had its own stairwell. Okay, so that's, I haven't looked at these houses in 4 years. It's been a long time. So I think I did pretty good. This is the top floor. Let's bring it back down just so y'all can look. But we'll go down to the next floor. All right, so as you see, this is the back. So we want to start off at the front of the house. Okay, so this is the airlock foyer that I always call it. Now, as you may see, just by the color of the outside door and these windows, I messed up. So a lot of the outside is going to have to be revamped because it's got a lot of monochrome inside of the house, but the outside is pretty much brick and brown. Okay, so the front door into the airlock makes it look brown, but then when you go down, you start seeing all these different colors, all monochrome on the first floor pretty much. So you'll go through this airlock and then you come into the grand living room. Okay, and now this is my lawn. This is the art gallery from what I can see. Yep, so I see all of my houses pretty much will have the same type of layout with these mansions. I'll put the same rooms in them. Okay, so that's the art gallery right there. And then you have, I think this is the entertainment room I built. Okay, yeah, because the movie theater's in here. It's like the big living room. Okay, so the movie theater's in here. Movie theater, that's your bar, that's your little music studio right there. Not as crazy as the first house, but what I wanted to do was, even though I'm using square rooms, I like them to be smaller. I wasted a lot of space in these mansions. Okay, so this room I wanted to make a little bit more efficient. Okay, and then this is the hallway. This is like a back hallway, right? So I made this so when you come through the entertainment room and everything is accessible. So if you come through the entertainment room, right, and you walk into the pool, right, if you're in the pool, I think I put a door. Nope, I didn't. I thought I put a door to get out of the pool, but I must have isolated. Nope, I just put it to get to the gym. Okay, so it's just little quirks like that that I will have to go improve, make different walkways. This is the main grand dining room. Like I said, I got one in every room, every house. Excuse me. This is the kitchen. Yep, this is my kitchen in this house, all the way over in the back. Then there you have your bowling alley with the basketball court next to it, and then your pool area, and then inside. See, I need to make a couple of doors, but what I did was, because I dropped the pool and there's no steps, that's why I closed the pool off and had it only with these entrances, so you can come. So these are the steps that lead up to each room, right? Okay, so it's two in the middle that go up to the two middle rooms, and then these two doors lead up the steps. Like, it was a pretty intricate design. I did some pretty good work. This is the second grand living room slash ballroom that nobody uses. Oh no, that's the first one. I'm sorry. So because there's my kitchen, we just turned the thing around. Okay, so there's the gym. This is the main little library area right here. Okay, and then the fountain in the middle. Like I said, those are the two stairwells leading up to each room. Then this door leads, and that room leads to the basement. Okay, and then in the entertainment room, when you walk through, there's your Star Wars shrine room on the other side, like the arcade gaming room. That's what I call it. It's like a gaming lounge. So that's the gaming lounge. And then you go through this back hallway. This back hallway is like a art display hallway. And then you walk around the pool, and that's how you get through this door, which takes you to the backyard. Okay, so as you see, then we go down through here, and we have the backyard area. Now where I messed up is I need to fence off the estate. Okay, so this is still 85% complete, 90% complete. I just got to come through and do little stuff to change it. These outside lights, I may change them to a different style, little details like that. But pretty much a lot of these old builds that we're going to be going over in this series are pretty much laid out for good foundations. So that's your hookah area outside. Then this is your karaoke stage with your trash cans and your eating areas, you know, the cookout area. And as y'all seen, the dogs. All right. And so this house is not as crazy to tour as the other one was, because the other one was just nuts. Okay, so let's go down to the basement and show y'all the last thing. Hold on, because show y'all the garage, couple of cars in there, just normal stuff. I can actually add way more to this now and make it a lot better. But that's your garage. And then only problem is, what am I missing? A door. It's no door on here. Okay, so I need to add a door, because a lot of this was display, so I didn't really want people going in there. And then when we go downstairs, as you see this from the front hallway, you can go straight to the basement. Okay, so if you walk straight through the front door and you walk to the left a little bit, you can go down to the basement. Okay, but as you see on the right side is no steps, because that's where my gym is. All right, so then we go down to the last level. All that you get is a laundry room. Okay, so it's no crazy basement on here. It's just a laundry room. But I could add a basement, but you know, little stuff like crates and stuff tucked over in the corner under the steps. I wanted to give it that little look. But I may definitely add a basement to this one, but I just wanted to keep it simple, because a lot of these builds do be really time consuming, and you can sit here and get lost in the Sims. That's the only thing about this game. Like, you might get on it at 8 a.m. and start building a house and be 1/4 through it as far as everything, like completion, decoration, 1/4 through it by midnight. And you got it, you looking up, you'd have been on the game for 13 hours. You like, damn, what did I do with my day? So that's how this game is. But yeah, this game is not as much for playing as Simmers as it used to be. Now it's more for architecture. It's more for builders, people who like to build on these lots. Okay, so this Game Dog Games back with another one, man. This is your tour of Brindleton Manor. This is part 2 of the old Sims 4 build series that I'm going to be doing on this new channel. Now, I had to remake this Game Dog Games channel because I got locked out of the first one. Okay, so the first one has Z on the end of games. This one is just S, Games. So Game Dog Games. I'm gonna link it to my main YouTubes. I'm gonna leave comments and links on these builds in the gallery if y'all want to find them and find the channel a little bit better. So thank y'all for watching. Thanks for tuning in. Like, comment, and subscribe. I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.